Welcome to the Mind of Basketball Podcast, also known as M.O.B Podcast, episode 98. I'm Evan.
And I'm Ja.
This is our basketball podcast where we recap, break down, and analyze players and teams from the previous games, the previous day. How are you this Thursday, Ja?
I'm tired. I'm beautifully tired.
What does that mean?
That means I feel good. I'm chilling. I'm and I feel tired in a beautiful way. Like I could I could sleep smoothly if if it comes to me.
You just sleep smoothly.
Yeah.
That's what everybody in this generation thinks Socrates.
I
I hope everyone's having a good day. I hope everyone will have a good day. I'm doing good as well. Chilling. Besides the Knicks being terrible. But a lot of basketball from last night, a lot of good games, most notably the game of the night featuring the best teams in the Western Conference. So let's start off with that. The Utah Jazz, best record in the league, going up against the Phoenix Suns, second in the Western Conference. And this was a really fun and exciting game to watch, as you expect from the 1 and 2 in the Western Conference. But the Suns did have that kind of early advantage in that first half. The Jazz found themselves trailing, and they had to battle back, which is really not a problem for them, as they've been doing that a lot this season, as we saw in previous games. And third quarter was big for them. That's when they got back to this game, led by Donovan Mitchell, who was dominant throughout the whole night. Finally stepped up on their defense, getting good stops on the Suns. And in the fourth quarter, back and forth, and came down to the wire. And the Suns found themselves up by 3, in which Donovan Mitchell hit the big shot, the big 3 to tie the game. Booker had a chance to win the game in the end, and he had a step back 3, missed. And as a result, we go into overtime, and it looked like the Suns are going to run away with this game in overtime, but the Jazz just always sticking in it like a little annoying fly.
like an irritation.
Annoying gnat. Yeah. It's like an irritation
get.
all the time, just staying within range.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. And came down to Booker was on the line.
Mm-hmm.
He made one and missed the other, in which that led to the Jazz only being down by 3.
Yeah.
So they had a chance. Donovan Mitchell was fouled before attempting the 3, so he had to go to the line. He missed one and made the other, but they're down by 2. They have no timeouts left. Chris Paul gets the ball. They foul him. He's not missing those. And yeah, as a result, the Suns survive the Jazz, get a big win, winning by 4.
Yeah, man. Oh my gosh, what a legendary game. Again, we alluded to this last episode, and were we correct? We were highly correct. Number one, the duel between two of the top shooting guards in the league, or two of the young top shooting guards in the league. Mitchell and Booker, man, did they put on the show? They put on the show. I believe Mitchell with 41, Booker with 35. Man, they was just from shot creating, putting the ball on the floor, connection with teammates and everything. They was just doing it simply all so well. And again, you talk about the fact how Phoenix had that early advantage. Well, again, we always talk about it all that time. That pace, that's like Utah's ability just to do all the little different kind of things and switch up at any moment. And you clearly saw in that third quarter, they switched up everything. You know what I mean? They got tighter with their defense. And again, Mitchell. It's just Mitchell, you know what I mean? And as a result, they were able to rally through him. And then it became really it felt like a new game in the fourth quarter, in my opinion. In that fourth quarter. And you clearly see it. You saw what happened, and then you saw what happened in the overtime, and then everything you just happened. It just felt like as if we was watching a whole different ball game.
Yeah, in that fourth quarter, Mitchell led the charge, obviously. But Gobert was big time for them. He finished 16-18. Big time on the boards, especially. Conley, who was struggling for most of the night, he stepped up in that fourth quarter as well, getting the big shots to go down. And yeah, they just really rallied around Mitchell, and they also got some good defensive stops, which they couldn't really get in that first half.
Yeah.
And that's what ultimately led them back into this game. But got to give credit to the Suns. I mean, the way they played, as you mentioned, Devin Booker, Aiton was big time also on the glass and getting up big shots as well. Chris Paul sipping his secret stuff, hitting big shots down the stretch, something he's been doing his entire career. And you really got to give the credit to the Suns team.
Yeah, man. I guess some like some Mountain doing some Gatorade mixed together. You put some secret stuff can help you out because Chris Paul had it going the whole night, man. He had just had it going the whole night himself. Just being, I guess what you would say, like arguably the greatest floor general we ever seen.
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah, or of our generation. Let me not say of that.
Yeah, our generation, most definitely. Yeah. Yep. In the end, the Phoenix Sun getting the close win against this Jazz team. Now the Suns are only one game behind the Utah Jazz for that first seed in the Western Conference.
Well, they ain't taking it, but like, okay.
One game. All they need is a win and a loss to the Jazz. That's not too much to ask for.
Yeah.
That's not too much to ask for.
Hey, let's see.
Yes, you're right. Let's see. Now let's go on to the earlier game of the night of the primetime day lineup. The New Orleans Pelicans, missing that man, going up against the Brooklyn Nets. Kevin Durant's return. And he did not start, and he didn't play in that first quarter. But second quarter hit, came into the game, looked like he did not miss a beat. Kevin Durant, still Kevin Durant. You said it before, 75% Kevin Durant is better than more than half of the players in the league.
Exactly.
That's how skilled he is offensively. He was doing his thing, returning. Of course, Harden's still out, but Kyrie's there, and he was putting on a show. Had Steven Adams dancing. He even dunked. I mean, they was just out there having fun. Also good defensively as well. Zion was really a no-show.
Yeah, they limited Zion big time, and it's shocking because again, this is a Nets team that we don't talk about when it comes to defense.
Not one bit, not one bit. But we can talk about the offense though, dropping 139 on these Pelicans team.
Man, I don't know what it is, but they flipped a switch, and this is what I talk about. I don't know. Are you done with your analysis?
Oh no, we just going back and forth.
Okay, yeah, but like this is what I talk about. You see, KD returns, and it looked like this Nets team that already has been doing amazing just took it to a different level. The impact, like you could see a switch just flipped as that third quarter came on. I don't know what it was. Look, it was building up before halftime, or towards the end of the first half, and then all of a sudden, you just start to notice a tide starts to shift, and then next thing, it went from being down from like the margin being like from 10 to like being like 50. like that's how it really felt like. They limited Zion, and like the only person who had it going was Bledsoe. But outside of that, like the whole Nets team just had it clicking offensively. And then from a point, you at a point you just had to stop watching because it was just it was getting out of hand.
Yeah, I mean Kyrie, KD, Blake Griffin, Aldridge had himself a good night as well. Finished 22 on the night. It was just everybody.
Exactly.
And yeah, they just put it to the Pelicans from start to finish. And yeah, based on how you could tell how we're talking, they blew out the Pelicans.
Yep.
Blew them out the water. Just a quick little stats that I want to talk about with the Pelicans. I know you say stats there, stats for everything, but I saw something that showed that the Pelicans are 1-4 in their last 5, and the previous 5 before that they were 4-1. That just shows you the Pelicans season. That stat alone is the Pelican season.
Yeah, the inconsistency, man. The inconsistency. And I just still really need to know. There's a stat for everything, and I still can't find a stat because I know they've blown a lot of games in which they have led when they came into the fourth quarter. I really need to find that. You see, I got a stat for everything, but y'all can't find me that stat. That's crazy.
Well, they didn't enter in this fourth quarter last night. That's for sure. So you don't need to find a stat for last night.
Exactly.
Yep. Brooklyn Nets blowing the Pelicans out the water. All right. Other games around the league. Anything you just like to talk about? And your secret stuff?
Yeah, my secret stuff right here. Simply orange.
You're so lame.
The first thing I like to talk about, I know this is gonna kind of disappoint you, but the Knicks versus the Celtics, and the Knicks had the advantage in the beginning. Well, actually, for three straight quarters.
Three straight quarters.
Yep. Randall had it going. Barrett had it going. They had it going from the three. They was playing as a team, and you know how their defense is. We got to really talk about how their defense is. Like, they had it going on all cylinders, and they had the advantage over the Celtics team, like always. But then the fourth quarter hits, and I guess since they don't have that kind of, I wouldn't say they don't have that scorer, because I feel like on any given night, any of them could, if they wanted to. Like, I feel like, in my opinion, if Alec Burks wants to give them that spark, he can. If Derrick Rose wants to give them that spark, he can. Like, and obviously their star Randall, if he wants to give them that spark, he can. But for some odd reason, when it comes down to the fourth quarter, the Knicks don't really have that person who could help close out games. And as a result, as a team, they kind of shrivel, and then they forget how to play what they're really known for, which is defense. And it ends up messing up, and because that's what basically happened once again for them. Going against the Celtics team found a way to, whatever adjustments they made, they found a way to come back, and they basically took the lead, and then they never looked back. They really never looked back. The Knicks were able to still keep it close, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But that's just not enough.
The Knicks, they kept it close. They had multiple opportunities to take the lead, multiple opportunities to get key stops. There was a point in which RJ Barrett hit a three, tied the game late.
Yeah.
And Marcus Smart hit the big three to get him right back to the lead. And then Alec Burks, he missed the three, and after that Smart three, it was basically sealed deal. Even though there was still a chance for the Knicks to win, that Smart three that gave them the go ahead lead.
Yeah,
just ended it for the Knicks. Really disappointed how the Knicks been playing. They've lost, if I recall, 5 out of their last 6 in key games in which they needed, against teams in which they could have won against. The Nets, that could have been a win for them.
Yeah.
Right now could have been a win for them. It's disappointing, and then just dropping and dropping and dropping. I want to get out of this playing situation, because as a Knicks fan, you just have a feeling you get into that playing situation, something bad is gonna happen. Just get out of the playing games, get into the playoffs, and then I'll be fine. But the way they're playing, they lose the same. It's like they lose the same exact way. They have great defense for majority of the game, but then there's that one spurt in which their defense doesn't really pull off for them, or the other team is just hot. They get into rhythm, and the Knicks can't do anything offensively.
Exactly. And I feel like that's what hinders them in late game situations. When they can't get hot offensively, it kind of, I guess, messes up their psyche, and then, like, they start to collapse defensively. I don't know how that correlates or how that happens, but for some odd reason they end up making that happen.
Yeah, I mean, their late game defense isn't the best. It's inconsistent sometimes. Their defensive rebounding really just really gets me angry. Really gets me angry. But enough about the Knicks. We talked enough about the Knicks. As a result, yes, Celtics getting a big win against a Eastern Conference rival, close in that standings. Hopefully they can use this win to propel themselves into better positioning where they ultimately should be.
Yeah.
But all right, next game.
Next thing I want to talk about is Indiana versus Minnesota. And Indiana, they had a really comfortable lead when talk about that second quarter. It was close in the first quarter, and
Mhm.
then they start to build up a lead in that second quarter, mainly because of again, the person who's starting to find his stride on his team, Karis LeVert, and along with others, they started to Justin Holiday, well, the Holiday brothers in general, because they had it light enough from the three.
Mhm.
And in the end, it just started to have this comfortable lead in which, they were up by, I believe, between 15 to 20 points from that second quarter and that third quarter. But yet, there's just something about this Timberwolves team. Whenever that fourth quarter hit, they find some way to make an adjustment offensively and
Mhm.
probably defensively. And they play the transition game so well, and they're able to fight their way back. You can see that lead just starts to go down for the Indiana Pacers as that fourth quarter hit. Karl Anthony Towns, D'Lo, Edwards, they just started to basically find their footing, and as a result, it was a close game. It became a battle within that last moments. But then I believe T.J. McConnell,
TJ McConnell.
who also had a double game, was able to help out this Indiana's Pacers team. Help out this Indiana's Pacers team, close out the game.
Hit that big three.
Yep.
That big three. Yeah, I think TJ McConnell is might be one of the most underrated players in this league.
Yeah.
To me, he's a great role player. Can really fit on any team with this style of play. Obviously, doesn't need the ball. Can shoot. He's a good passer. Obviously, his best attribute is team defense and
Yeah.
defense itself, where he can create havoc and make deflections and cause turnovers and get steals. I really
Yeah.
like his game. I really like his game.
In my opinion, he's that guy who does all the little things that that could show up on the scoreboard and won't show up on the scoreboard. He has heart. He plays with intensity. He has a lot of hustle in his game.
Yeah,
And just like what you said, he could shoot, he could defend, he could pass
facts.
whenever he needs to, and he's like that. I wouldn't say he's like that emotional leader, but he's that leader that leads by example.
Yeah, yeah. I see what you're saying. Maybe not a leader, but can give you like a
Like a motivation kind of thing. Like he could
yes,
spurt you,
yes,
spurt you
yes.
up.
Yeah, it's a great way to say it. But yeah, Pacers as a result do survive the Timberwolves surge and comeback attempt in that fourth quarter.
Yeah.
All right, and lastly,
The final game I want to talk about is the Mavericks versus the best team in the league. You know what I mean?
best team in the league.
And let's just be honest here. The Mavericks had it was a duel. That first quarter, it was a duel. It was really close, but then John Wall is continuing to constantly show people who he is.
I'm well in his first game back in a few, if I
Yep.
can recall, right?
Yep. And he basically showed his impact on this Rockets team, even though yeah, we're not gonna get into it. But yeah, had the as a result, the Rockets had a big second quarter, and they was
Mm-hmm.
able to take that into the third quarter,
Mm-hmm.
and they basically led within that end of the first half and the beginning of the second. But again, the Mavericks being the offensive juggernaut there's no way of limiting them when it comes to their fourth quarter heroics. And
They
they
tried.
start or their attempt to make a
Fourth
comeback game.
quarter rules, yeah.
They started finding their way back,
Mm-hmm.
and even though it came close again, John Wall showing up when it matters most. I believe
Yeah, 29.
yeah, he had 29 in the game, and he came up big in that fourth quarter for them. And him and KP's connection also was really good throughout the game, also.
Yeah.
So, and as
Kevin
a
Porter,
result,
not Christian, not
Kevin
Chris
Porter.
Porzingis. KPJ.
Yeah, KPJ, Kevin Porter. And as a result, they were able to close out this game 102-93.
Yes. And Luka was struggling throughout that game a lot. It showed some frustration. But yeah, surprising result, a surprising finish. Great job by the Rockets. John Wall once again proving what he can do when he's healthy and when he's on the court. A big win from the Rockets against a really good Mavericks team who's been playing really well as of late.
Yeah.
And a playoff team. So,
well, that's really
no Rockets jokes today, sadly.
Yeah. Well, really, hold on. We can make a joke. It doesn't really mean much. They ain't find they ain't nowhere near the playing game, so it doesn't really mean much.
No, I thought you said they have a chance though.
Yeah, I did say that they had.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
Wait. Hold on. I never expected them to go on a 0-20 streak.
You said that after they went on it.
Oh yeah, I did say that. I did say they still got a chance because I thought about it and I thought they were more closer than expected. But the moment you told me, then I changed my whole song. I changed my whole song about it. You know that.
Listen, they were terrible.
Look, because I thought they were more closer than what I thought, even though they lost, they had that losing streak. I swear.
How do you think that they are still that close after a 20-game losing streak?
I because I thought Sacramento wasn't doing that good, but then Sacramento started to pick it back up. And
Sacramento was inconsistent. Winning, losing. 5-game win streak, 7-game losing streak.
And I also forgot that OKC still in the Western Conference.
OKC been injured this entire year. Still better than the Rockets.
And hence why when the moment you told me those things and stuff on the last episode, I was like, oh.
Well, not entire year, more like past month. But yeah.
So that's all.
But hey, give them their props. They beat Luka. They beat the Mavericks.
They beat Luka. They beat
Porzingis. They beat Hardaway.
They beat the healthy squad.
Oh, yeah. Congratulations, Rockets. You deserve a medal. All right. Let's stop talking trash about them. Slow news for tonight. So let's go straight into the predictions for tonight. Starting off with the Chicago Bulls going against the Toronto Raptors. Chicago. The first primetime game of the night, TNT 7:30. It is a finals rematch, even though the Stars are not playing. The Los Angeles Lakers, defending champions, going against the Miami Heat, defending Eastern Conference champions.
I got the sunshine of the East.
Yeah, I got the Heat, obviously, because this is the equivalent of last year with the Lakers were playing against when Dragic and Bam were hurt.
I'm sorry. I'm not taking nothing away from that Lakers team, but I'm just like, oh man.
No. It's not the equivalent because last year they still had Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, they still had Jimmy Butler
and Duncan Robinson. So yeah, and a good team. But I said the Heat. Yeah, I said the Heat. The Cavs against the Thunder. The Cavs should happen in 2016. The Bucks going against the Mavericks.
Bucks.
The Bucks. The Portland Trailblazers going against the Utah Jazz. Trying to bounce back.
Jazz.
The Jazz. And lastly, wait, is it lastly? No, not lastly. Almost lastly. TNT primetime game, 10 o'clock. The Phoenix Suns going up against the Los Angeles Clippers.
Phoenix.
Ooh, Phoenix. Lastly, the Pistons against the Kings.
Could this one just be a toss-up? I got the Kings.
Begrudgingly, I got the Kings.
Hey man, it'll probably be like, I came with fun. I was gonna say this could be the Chris Webber versus Rasheed Wallace kind of times, but no.
That is so disrespectful to Chris Webber and Rasheed Wallace. So disrespectful. What?
Hey man, I'm just trying to make it a right. I'm just trying
No,
to brighten up the matchup.
no,
I'm just trying to
no.
brighten up the matchup. Okay. Look. All right, all right.
Jeremy Grant, De'Aaron Fox. Could have said something like that. Could have said something like that. I mean, the two exciting players. Jamie
Look.
Grant, one of the most
Tyrese
improved
Halliburton
players.
versus Sadiq Bey. Tyrese
Sadiq
Halliburton
Bey is
versus,
nice.
well, yeah, you see?
But you see, I don't know. We have to apologize since we was laughing at him because the Celtics lost to him. All right, so now we gotta apologize for laughing at him.
Okay, I apologize when he becomes a star.
He don't have to be a star.
Okay.
He's a good player.
Yes. Okay, look. Sadiq Bey.
See, you so disrespectful. Why are you saying it like that? Why are you saying it like that? Put respect on his name. Now, when he becomes a star, yeah, you're gonna be growling at his feet. I'm a player fan.
Giannis Antetokounmpo. Let me stop. All right. Sorry, he had nothing to do with that. But okay. Sadiq Bey, I would like to apologize. I know you're never gonna watch this.
Never.
If you just tumble across it or something like that, I would like to say I apologize for making it seem as if you were a nobody when you defeat the Celtics, when you're actually making a really good name for yourself on that Pistons team, even though they suck.
They suck.
Making a real good name for yourself, and I hope nothing but great things for your future.
All right, good. All right, still was disrespectful to those Pistons and Kings teams of back then, but nonetheless. All right, I think it's time to wrap things up. Any final thoughts?
Oh yeah, just real quickly, I just want to say, everybody returned last night, like KD, Bill, um,
Cole Anthony,
like
the Magic.
the Magic, a good amount of guys returned, and just I'm happy to see. So now we finally get to see. Now all we gotta do is wait for Harden to come back, and now we get to see how interesting these final parts of the season get to.
Just Harden, no King and Brow.
Oh yeah. AD and Braun, my bad. I don't know how. Sorry. I'm sorry. Again,
Wow,
beautifully
you
tired.
just rolling on with the disrespect, huh?
Look, beautifully tired. I forgot. I'm sorry. And Clay, whenever Clay comes back.
Listen, I don't think Clay's coming back this season.
Hell no, he's not.
They'd be lucky if he comes back in the playoffs. Extremely lucky if he comes back in the playoffs. Spencer Dinwiddie can actually come back this season, though. Is more likely.
That's someone we have not been bringing up. How have we always just glossed over the fact that the Nets are still not fully healthy because they don't even have Spencer Dinwiddie?
Because they don't need him. That's why. And that's not disrespectful to Spencer Dinwiddie.
Yeah, you're right.
He's a great player. But I mean, the talent they have on this team, really?
It's the fact that they still got Spencer Dinwiddie after everything that they gave up, the assets and stuff is amazing.
Yeah. So, yep, I agree. All right. I guess with that being said, thank you guys for watching today's podcast. Make sure you tune into tomorrow's podcast. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe.
And also follow our G down in the description below.
And once again, I am Evan.
I'm Ja.
And this is My Basketball Podcast.